This is Poland. But this is also Poland. How did this measly country achieve such feats? Well, this country that we're looking at right here is pretty infamous for always being annexed by its neighbors, but today I'm going to change that. Poland will be known as the destroyer of worlds because as soon as I join, I will immediately strengthen my economy by selling electronics and borrowing money from these lands that are now mine. This money will then be used to strengthen my entire military, which will be completely unleashed and devastate the entirety of Europe. I started off by doing the basics foundational steps. Creating cheap electronic factories, justifying on these two insignificant countries, picking static lines, doing research, and creating my military groups. The remaining money was used to create steel and motor factories, and to buy the resources needed. This is one of the most important parts in the 2019 early game, which is the race to sell as much resources as possible. And if you end up being too slow, your country will probably be at the top of this list. Fortunately, I sold enough electronics that generated the money needed to fund my governmental and technological innovations program. And now it's time for Lithuania and Latvia to experience the benefits of having me as their dictator. Fun, isn't it? These other countries also gained their free ticket to be integrated into the soon-to-be Polish Empire. Belarusians will be Polish. Ukrainians will be Polish. Everyone will be Polish. Even you, the viewer watching, will be Polish. Don't worry, I believe that all countries are equal. But some are just more equal than others. After some time, my spidey senses were tingling. I realized that this German player right here was just attempting to perform the completely deadly and dangerous ally everyone tactic. There's a reason why this tactic is bad, and am I going to capitalize on this? Absolutely. the story? If you watch Rise of Nugget, your games will be as easy and simple as this. Sometimes. Because in this next game, my opponent actually knew what he was doing, and I had to use more effort, since I had to contest against countries that start out stronger than me. This time, Ukraine was a player, which meant I had to deal with him quickly before any weird shenanigans happen. I wanted to stabilize my economy and develop a little bit before that, but Ukraine had other ideas. Since I wasn't necessarily floating in cash, I had to send a small force to delay Ukraine's advance, so I can use the money from Czech Republic and Estonia to create new tanks. It was only a matter of time before I destroyed his inferior units and established Polish supremacy. And this here was the easy part. Invading AI countries and developing myself while Europe goes through its usual shenanigans. This was also the part where I hired generals and finished the static lines tree. This will be very important for later. I also noticed that this Russia player right here was an AI country, which was allied with Germany. So I immediately capitalized on that and started an invasion of Russia. This is what happens when all the Polish femboys unite, leave the country, and allow everyone else to commit war crimes in Russia. Fascinating, right? But not as fascinating was the realization that I would have to deal with both a France and China player, who were simultaneously growing stronger. Sure, I could invade France right now. But most of my troops are currently invading Russia, and I'm not even at a high development stage yet, so my money could run dry in almost an instant. My best bet? Keep developing and invading AI countries, strengthen my military, and try to keep China out of this. Once China justified on me, their plan was quite obvious. Their mission was to use Chinese attacks from Kazakhstan to divert my units away from my mainland in Europe. When Poland is vulnerable, that is when China will add France, who will attempt to overrun me with baguette tanks. Quite a sound strategy, but only one problem. I suspected that France was definitely being aided by China, so instead of risking it all, with an all-out brute force attack, I decided to systematically deprive France of any real opportunity to invade me, while using a scorched earth policy in Russia, to slow down those Chinese hordes. It was also crucial that I use the tactics from my earlier videos. Using leaders, entrenching whenever possible, utilizing support. I could name many more, but these can be seen up here. At this point, France was having enough of all these shenanigans, and decided that it was time that he builds up, attack, and perform one final, deadly blow.
Dio! ほう、向かってくるのか。近づかなきゃ、てめえをぶちのめせないんだ。